Hey everybody, welcome to OtherRealm Studio. We are doing this again. So let's see. Um, I have the forest scene on the current page 3. A few more deer to paint on currently page 4. And the babies at the bottle rack. Okay, I went ahead and set up a couple of things here. I split this page off from the page that was next to it. So these are two individual pages now. I scooted everything over and I cleverly copied and pasted uh, my little deer in the front to over here beside this other one. No one's gonna notice. It'll be fine. So for the moment, let's turn him invisible and work on this poor little incomplete one. Let's see. Since I have the bottle rack sketched in, and this is the angle that it ended up at. Oops. I'm going to be adjusting this one's pose a bit. So this project is the Magnolia Fawn children's book, now on Kickstarter. And it's on Kickstarter because I am working on raising the print funds. So it's a little difficult to have a children's book that's not in print because uh, the traditional way to enjoy art books full of illustrations and pictures of wildlife is to have it a real book that you sit and you turn the pages. And so it was my original vision for this book was to have it as primarily a print book. And in order to do that, I needed to know how many copies I should look into printing. And in order to do that, you have to see how many people are going to want a print copy. And so that's why I have it up on Kickstarter. But we are nearing the end of the campaign, and if you don't hurry, you're going to miss your chance to get a pledge in for your print copy. And if the Kickstarter campaign does not raise the full amount, then nobody's card is going to be charged. Uh, it's an all or nothing print. It's an all or nothing funding model, so no one's card will be charged, and there won't be there just won't be a print copy. But fortunately, the print run is all that I have to raise funds for. I can still make the book, essentially. Yeah, like I'm doing right now. I can continue and finish the illustrations, finish the writing, I have the software to do the formatting. I have an ISBN number. I have everything I need to get the book ready for print. So all that's left is to finish working with what I've got. And we'll see where we are at the end of the campaign. So that reminds me, I need to post that in the chat. So give me a second. So here's what it looks like on the Kickstarter page. And I'm going to grab this link, pop it up here. At least it'll show up in the YouTube comments. And Put that back down again. And I got this on my tablet, so there, I've pasted it in on the chat in the Facebook video. So Magnolia Fawn Rescue is a wildlife rehab facility run by Connie Hall. It's a 5013C charity. The book is not on Kickstarter. The book is not a charity itself. However, if we get the print run done, then there will be copies for Connie to have for her fundraisers. So kind of indirectly it would be helping things out. But if you would prefer to donate directly or become a volunteer at Magnolia Fawn Rescue, then you can follow Magnolia Fawn on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. They should be easy to find. I don't have those links to pop in the descriptions, but you should be able to find them. And, you know, I do post links to their videos as well. So if you found me, then you can go through my timeline and find them as well. Okay, I think I have this tail too floofy. So let's trim that down a bit. The other little fawn's tail is a bit floofy too. I'm just going to add in and blend some shading. And do minor little fixes. So evidently, uh, there's been an increasing problem in upstate South Carolina of the deer being pushed out of their natural habitat by the increasing land development in the area. And I have noticed I've seen a lot more deer on the side of the road, and it's been a very busy year for orphans to show up. On one hand, it's very sad that there are so many orphaned young deer, but on the other hand, it's really good of all these people to keep an eye out and to take the time to drive them to the rescue and surrender them to Connie so that she can rehabilitate and release them later when they're ready. But the one of the difficult things about dealing with so much development is that there's a lot more roads going in. There's a lot more traffic. Deer are not good at handling traffic. You know the phrase "deer in the headlights." Uh, that's a phrase for a reason. And also, the uh, the various development projects scattered all over South Carolina, and especially up here in the upstate. Well, especially that I've seen. They are making the pockets where wildlife can live smaller. It's it's shrinking every day, and the little pockets of wilderness, you know, if it can even be called that, are getting further apart. And so that makes it difficult for the deer to migrate. And they kind of have to if they're going to find uh, food throughout the seasons and mix with other herds and, maintain genetic diversity and stuff like that. And so there's not really a different place for them to live. They don't have any choice but to live in the margins of our civilization. They do not cope well to being pets or domesticated, and it's illegal anyway in South Carolina. And they've been doing great for hundreds of years. Yeah, living right next to people and rarely causing any problems aside from the traffic problems, which are kind of a given. No, I can't upgrade the painter. Come on. I need to do something about the Corel pop ups, I guess. Look, if I could, I would buy art software and new tablets and more supplies every day. But I can't. End of story. And this is why I'm glad that I don't have Adobe and I never will. Let's just get that extra dig into subscription software is not for me. I really prefer to have something dependable. Okay, I've been over here making tiny little adjustments and thinking, no, something's still missing. Gee, I wonder what. All right. Yeah, this will probably do it. You know, you just can't put the spots on any earlier. see. I need to add another layer above the sketch layer. Three is probably not enough, but I might as well get started painting in the bottle rack. So there's two reasons why Connie sets up a bottle rack for the phone. See, one of them is that she just has so many deer, and they all need bottles. And even with full racks like these, she still hand feeds a couple of them just to get them all done in a reasonable amount of time. But the other reason is that this is a good way to keep the deer from associating food too much with people. So, as always, the goal is for the best outcome for the deer as they grow up. So, you don't want them imprinting on people and becoming nuisance deer as they get older. But if they're all fed together like this, and they're kept together in stalls in the barn and in playpens from the time they're very young, then they have more opportunity to imprint on each other than they have to imprint on any humans. And so when they grow up, they will be accustomed to doing everything with a herd of deer, and they won't be trying to find a herd of humans to belong to. Let me blend this guy out a little bit so he's not looking so woolly. Healthy deer don't typically have fluffy coats. Ah, I forgot to split this one. Oh well, it's okay. I'll split it before next time. So, yeah, we have less than a week until the end of the campaign. And I want to work on this deer up in the front corner. So let's pick up a good color for it. Maybe over here in the additional color set. So soon I'm going to be reaching the end of this project and picking up the pace on my other projects that I was supposed to have completed before starting this one. But you know how it is. Every time you have a plan, something happens. And I have frequently had my plans derailed by the most random stuff that happens. But I can't let it get to me. So after this, I have a commission to finish up and corrections and a little housekeeping to do. And I've got things to do for my kids. I've got my comic. I have my novel. I have a bunch of novel projects that I am sketching out in order to write. I actually managed to settle down and write a little bit today, and I've been working on essentially the plot summary for a book to see if it's going to do the thing that I want it to do, and then end up complete. And I've got it summarized almost to the end, but I've realized that I'm not exactly sure um, how it ends. I mean, I suppose it's going to be a happily ever after deal, but what was the big bad again? What's the problem that's going to be solved? So, if there's no problem solved, then why is there a story in the first place? And I guess I'm just working through that. Because I have a lot of small problems for the protagonist. Um, a bunch of things to escalate problems because that's what I like to do. A bunch of little things that make the other little things so much worse. But I don't have the main problem worked out yet. And so I guess I'm not going to dig into writing like fully fleshed out chapters with uh, dialogue and character development and all that good stuff until I figure out, why am I writing this story? What does get defeated by the end of it? Because even a screwball comedy needs an overarching conflict to it. I don't have one. It's still kind of disjointed. So I'm going to work on that. Maybe I'll dream something up. And I have good news and bad news about my superhero novel. The good news is I figured out what is going on with the plot. The bad news is I everything that I've written to this point is just preamble and the real story starts much later. I thought that the story started much earlier, but no. No, it starts much later than where I have things set up currently. So I'm going to ship my protagonist off on her real big mission, and things are going to completely fall apart at home while she's gone. And she's going to be blamed for stuff that she wasn't even on the planet for. It's going to be fantastic. And kind of mean, but that's what protagonists are for. They're to be punching bags for the author. Oh, here goes the savey thing. I guess I would rather there be extra saves than not enough. That might be enough, dear. I know originally I had a few more. Well, two more right here on this side and this one right here, but I don't really need them. So I think this will be about final for this page. Um, Except I will need to go back over it and add in the multiply and the overlay layers to do highlights and shadows. I could do that real quick. So let's see, we select layer. Over here where it says normal, we make things not normal. We set it to multiply, find the light grayish palette, and figure out what color we want the shadows. So something I've noticed with some colorists in comics and mostly in comics, really. I don't know a lot of children's book colorists. I don't think it's a separate job. But I have noticed that a lot of them will do something like just put gray for the shadows. But I have found that that kind of makes it more likely that the ink work will get kind of muddied with the extra gray tones. It'll lose its sharpness because there's more gray on it than the inker intended. I forgot the white on this one's tail. Hang on. Backing up. I can't have a white-tailed deer without a white tail. Alright, let's go back to what we were doing. Hold on just a minute. Okay, so I have I have been informed of an issue with something to do with my settings. For some reason, my resolution is not good. And I'm not entirely sure where to find how to fix that. Output. Hmm. It doesn't seem to be a problem with OBS. So it might be specifically to do with how Facebook is organizing it. But I have already worked on this for about an hour. So I'm going to darken in the shadows real quick, and I'll do uh, the highlights later. So it's just about time for me to go. I've got stuff to finish up working on other than art. Okay, so I guess that's enough shading for now. And let's hit save. And for tomorrow, I will try to fix my screen resolution so that you can see what I have going on here a bit better. Let's do fit to navigator. Alright, so as you can see, and as you'll be better able to see tomorrow once I fix my settings, this is going to be an absolutely beautiful book. It's going to have more than 20 pages of beautiful illustrations and true stories of the baby deer that are rescued by Magnolia Fawn Rescue. And it's going to be, very educational, but also um, entertaining and very pretty as well. So if you would like to support the book and pledge for your own print copy of it, you can go look at Kickstarter.com and search Magnolia Fawn children's book, or go to the link in the comments that I left for y'all. So, thank you all so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.